Hey, how you doing today? My name is Relyea, and thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're playing Hollow Knight, and I want to go over the top 10 most annoying enemies in the entire game. And the very first one is the Primal Aspid. And as you can see, these guys are super annoying, mostly because they will hunt you down forever. They will not stop. If you do not just end them early, they will just keep coming after you. And even when you do try to go after them to take them out, they will just keep coming. It's not just that they'll keep coming after you, it's that they will also like back up and make it hard for you to attack them as you're going. Like it's crazy. There's just absolutely no chill when you're dealing with this enemy, especially when you're here or when you're in the Coliseum of Fools. It's like they keep just coming faster and faster, and even with your nail fully upgraded, they take multiple hits. Otherwise, you have to use your Great Slash to be able to take them down in a single hit. Boom! Oh, that's so satisfying. It's so satisfying to get them all in one hit. What's funny is that even Bardoon here hates the Primal Aspids. Like, he's here hiding to get away from him, and what's funny is they've been chasing him for so long that they're all like just below trying to get him. The most annoying thing with this enemy is like their cone. For whatever reason, it feels like their attacks can get you from like a mile away, and they're almost impossible to dodge. At least that's the way it feels. The second most obnoxious enemy in this game has to be these Crystal Hunters, and for the same reason that Primal Aspids are annoying, these guys will hunt you down and they shoot projectiles at you. With this one in particular, it leaves a little bit of crystal behind, which is something that can block your path whenever you're trying to get some platforming done. Particularly in this area here where it's dark, you're trying to get some platforming done, you might be new to the area, and these things will just really mess you up really quick and just give you no place to relax. I don't know, there's just something about them that made it really, really tough, and I just don't have a lot of fun fighting these guys. The only thing this next enemy is good for is farming Geo. The Hopper is one of those ones where they will gather up on you pretty quickly and can be quite annoying, especially early on, because these guys take a ton of hits. I just so happen to have the Unbreakable Strength and a fully upgraded nail. But early on in the game, it's like these guys take like, I don't know, 6 hits or something like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. Along those same lines as the Hopper, and even more annoying, is the Great Hopper. And the reason is they will actually track your position, and they can do short hops, they can do kind of a longer hop, so you really just have to kind of move back and forth with these guys in order to be able to take them out. But again, they have just so much health that they're just more of an annoyance than anything. Look at that. I mean, they will gain some ground on you. If you're just walking away, like, they're gonna get you. So, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those guys who I struggle with these guys early on, and I don't know if it's just me, but man, between the Hoppers and the Primal Aspids, this area was tough the first time you come through here if your nail isn't upgraded enough for it. The fourth most annoying enemy in the game is the Stalking Devout, and they can be found here in Deepness. They're usually guarding these tunnels, and what's really annoying is you can't just like get past them very easily unless you already have the Shade Cloak, or you have, well, you really need the Shade Cloak. Otherwise, you can't just like run past these guys. You're not gonna be able to do it. The other thing is that whenever you get close, they actually deal double damage when they hit you, like that. If you just do contact damage, they'll only hit you for 1 mask, but if they hit you, they're gonna hit you good. I don't know what it is about these guys, but it's just, I never really used spells a whole lot, so these guys were especially tough, especially if you can't get above them. It's not like you can just like face tank them unless you have a ton of masks, but typically you don't. Typically when you're fighting these guys, it's still fairly early in the game. This might be like where you're about to fight some of the different what are they called, the Dreamers, and probably don't have a full set of masks, and you're off guard. You're in this place where you don't have a whole lot of soul. It's just a bad time when you go to fight these guys. It's just not fun at all. They're not so bad if you can get above them and you can just like down strike on them a bunch, but unless you can do that, they're just really, really tough if you can't get above them. Let's get out of here. I just hate this area in general. Down in the Royal Waterways, there are very few enemies that are more annoying than the Flukemon, which is this guy right here. You have to kill him once, kill his offspring a second time, and then a third time. Like, there's so many little things you have to do with these guys. They're just super annoying. And then right here, when you come on down, there is just a ton of them. Look at this. There's so many that is super overwhelming, especially when it's early in the game before your nail is actually upgraded. I remember coming in here the first time without having any upgrade to my nail and just like, what do you do with all of these enemies coming after you? It's just absolutely ridiculous. So you have to watch out for guys in the air, guys on the ground, and whatever else. It's like they just stack up on you. And it was just not a fun time to be down here my first couple of times through. It was just really, really terrible. It just took so much damage, and it was just a trap that I didn't want to be in. Those are easily, it's just a real tough area, but a real tough guy, real tough enemy to fight in general. Like, you come down a little bit further, there's just like more of them. Like, you just can't get away as the enemies just keep spawning in. And once you think you're done, boom, there's more. Ah! Even now. Oh, shoot. Okay. They give you no chill. There's no chill with the Flukemon. This next enemy is special because he is just so different. It's like he peels his face back or turns himself inside out just to turn into a drill and will chase you down and will be able to curve towards you. So if you're not paying extra close attention, it's one of those ones where it'll just keep tracking you and he will follow you to the ends of the earth once he does start to come after you. It is super annoying, especially because this one will team up with other enemies if you're not careful. If you don't get rid of them, if you're not able to hide somewhere, they will come after you in places that are like really small areas too. Like if I was to like come through here, look at that. They'll find a way in. That's all I'm saying. So right here, when there's multiple of them and they can team up on you, it can just be so much harder to dodge. I honestly think that they're a lot harder to dodge and deal with than the big guy for whatever reason. It's just they just give you no chill and nowhere to go, and they will make their way up into here if you wait long enough. You just have to get rid of all of them. Oh, I'm about to die. I don't want to die. This next enemy is tough for the same reason that the Stalking Devout was tough. And if you're not expecting their attacks, they can really catch you off guard the first time. This next one is the Entombed Husk. And these guys right here, they will block your entrance, but if you can lure them out, you can get to them pretty easily. But man, I remember the first time just hearing these guys, it was so visceral. I was just like afraid to hear these guys, and I hated coming down in here just because it was dark. You just hear them like with this like guttural sound in their throat, and it's just hard because they'll come swinging at you, and again they will also do 2 masks of damage if you do let them hit you. So I don't know, I didn't like these guys, but once you figure them out, they're not too terribly bad. This next enemy is found in the Queen's Gardens, and it's known as the Mantis Petra. And as you're going around doing your platforming, you're really just trying to get your way through here, and you have to deal with this projectile that goes out and back. It can be super difficult to dodge, especially if you're not used to this enemy. Your first time through here is going to be really tough, especially if you are letting these guys stack up on you, just because their projectile is kind of tough and the platform's just giving out on you. It's just a real bad time. It's just one of those things where they're not too bad if they're by themselves, but man, there's just something about it when you're also trying to deal with platforming and the way that their projectiles move. It's just not a good time. So not only here, but you also have to deal with these ones in the Coliseum of Fools, and when they throw their projectile, you can really just dash, move out of the way, and then you've actually got time to heal if you're in a place that you actually have time to heal. Obviously you can't heal on those little platforms, but no, they're just frustrating, you know? The next and 9th most annoying enemy in the game has got to be the Soul Twister, and it's because these things will pop up out of nowhere, and they can be really hard to get rid of just because they don't mess around, you know? If you try to run away from them, they just kind of stack up, and then you'll have multiple of them to deal with, and that's just no fun at all, right? If you're trying to run, now you got like 2 and 3 of them, especially earlier on in the game, and you don't know how to dodge their projectiles, kind of like that. Man, these guys are just super tough, especially before you get your Abyss Shriek going, and you learn how to take them down quickly. I don't know what it is. Like, these guys melted my brain so many times and just made it so difficult. I did not like having to come through here the first time and deal with these guys. Especially just trying to run away from them. I thought running away from them was the answer, but they just keep teleporting towards you and teleporting towards you, and it's just like, leave me alone. Last but definitely not least, as far as most annoying enemies in Hollow Knight, has to go to the winged sentries, and it's these guys right here where, just like all the other ones, if you go too quickly and you just try to dodge them, they just all stack up, can be really annoying. The whole reason being is that sometimes you can't just get a hit off on them real quick. You've got ones that are ranged, you've got ones that are trying to get up close. Sometimes you try to go for a hit and they just jump further and further away from you, especially before you have the double jump ability. It's just, they're just tough to dodge. You can run away from them, but sometimes when they group up too much, it's just too tough to deal with. So let me know down in the comments below, who were the top 10 most annoying enemies in Hollow Knight for you. I think this is a pretty solid list. These guys are all super annoying, especially at the time that you come across them earlier on in the game when your nail's not fully upgraded or it's your first time coming across these enemies. They're tough. They're annoying, they're not fun to deal with, especially when they get all grouped up. Later on, pretty much all of the enemies become a little bit easier, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe for even more Hollow Knight and also Silksong tips, tricks, and how-to videos. Again, my name is Relyea, and I'll talk to you again more soon.